Also, she wanted to talk. So I put some juice on the kitchen table and we sat down. She said there is someone who wants to talk to me and if I'm okay with it. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm doing the update to the video I did a few hours ago, titled, Update, We Broke Up. Me, a 34-year-old male, dumping girlfriend, a 27-year-old female, because of her former past. And guys, I know I did that story a few hours ago, but just as a quick recap. That's about the guy. He'd been dating his girl for just a couple months. He 34, she's 27. And in the beginning, when they started dating, she talked about the past a little bit. And she made it out to be that she only had 3 or 4 relationships, nothing big. And then one day he overheard her having a conversation while she thought he was asleep, talking to an ex about her past. And as it turned out, this guy was twice her age. He's an old hippie, as he describes him, and you're going to find out more about that pretty soon. And she, for years, was with him and his friends participating in the big O, O-R-G-I-E-S. I can't say that here because YouTube flagged me once for saying that. Group activity for like 3 years. Upon finding this out, this guy's like, not happening. I'm not going to waste my time anymore because you're not someone I'm going to want to marry or have kids with, for God's sakes. And of course, she's upset and all that, and he kicks her out. Not like kicks her out, but tells her, get her stuff, we're breaking up. Part 2 here is all about the continuation of that story, and also to show you the length she goes to get him to change his mind, involving this old guy. And wait till you see with this old guy, how he talks to him, the things he says, all that, it's just unreal. And it goes to show you, and by the way, you all recall, she made it clear to him that she chose him because she was looking for a conservative guy to settle down with, because she knew there was no future hooking up with old guys twice her age, old hippies that lived that lifestyle. That was going to be good for marriage and kids and all that. So she deliberately chose the conservative, nice guy, the stable guy, which I tell you all the time they do. So you must be careful. So, starts off, he says here, or say it continues. First of all, I'm actually going to skip the first part because it's just him talking about people making comments to him, and this is a long video. He says here, as promised, there is an update. I ended up talking to that old hippie, and it only strengthened my resolve. I broke up with her, which was not a nice experience, but I was as civil as possible. You could be the most civil person in the world, still women are going to lose their shit when you break up with them. How dare you? I realize this post sounds angry, but I write it in the very next day we broke up, and I'm still emotional about it. I have lots of anger in me after I realize she's far from the person I thought she was. How many guys have said that? On Saturday, she knocked at my door. I had a few boxes with her stuff packed up and prepared next to the door, which she noticed and flinched. Also, she wanted to talk. So I put some juice on the kitchen table and we sat down to talk. She said there is someone who wants to talk to me and if I'm okay with it. Who could that possibly be? Isn't that supposed to be between 2 adults having this conversation about the breakup? But okay. I promised her that we would talk and I didn't want to be rude. Well, if he had a time machine, he can go back and change that. She video called someone and put that phone on the table so we could both see the video feed. From the first sight, I knew exactly it was the old hippie that she was talking to before. She's actually calling the guy that banged his ex for like 3 years, old hippie, twice her age, with all his hippie friends. This is going to be the relationship counselor. This is going to be good. I was pissed a bit, but because she never told me she wants us to talk. But okay, we're adults and let's keep things civil. Stop right there. Be like, click. No, we're not going to have the guy who used to plow you for 3 years and you only broke up with him because you saw no future and chose a guy like me. No, we're done. Get your shit, get out of here. Thanks for the memories. But anyhow, he says, don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy having a conversation with a dude who had those intimate, extreme experiences with my girl and with his friends. But there's no need to get nasty to anyone. He was an early 50s man, skinny, and had paper white skin. His apartment was unclean, i.e. some fast food wrappers on the shelves, some open liquor bottles on the table. His voice was like a deep DJ voice that you hear on the radio at night. I have to confess that the first few minutes it was like a trance for me. Then I started paying attention to what he was saying, and it's just lots of free love propaganda. I think he can be quite persuasive if you listen without paying attention to what exactly he says. So this guy, obviously a lowlife. Look the way he described him. In the background, he's fast food wrappers here, open liquor bottles here, long hair, looks like a slob. But he's got that voice, the deep voice, like a radio DJ, you know, those types. And he's very persuasive, and you can see he can manipulate people. Even he was saying, shit, I was kind of falling under the spell. I should have recorded the conversation. It was an interesting experience, and I'll try to recall as much as I can from my memory about the points that he made. Now, here, listen to all these things the guy was telling him. The guy was saying to him that we are living in the 21st century, and he knows I'm confused. That I need to open my mind a bit, that people are living their lives in other ways. He says, that's fine, let them do it. I stick my old-fashioned nuclear family model. He said that people can share love with many people, and you should be happy for them because it shows your love with your partner. And he says, I should be happy that my partner has sex with other people. What the fuck? See what I'm talking about here? He also said, I should be happy for my girlfriend to have all those exciting experiences because that helped her to become a better person. Better person, huh? Says the guy that was nailing a girl who was like 21 years old and he was like 50 years old. Of course, it was a great experience for him. The guy here says, for a start, she did leave this happy family because she saw no future. Also, how her banging tons of dudes made her a better person. The old guy also said he was happy to be with my girlfriend and felt sad that she decided to abandon his family, but wishes her well, and he understands she wants to have her own life that he cannot provide. And this guy says, in my opinion, he was happy to bang a 20-year-old pussy and understand that he was sad when she dropped him. The old guy says he understands that the knowledge he passed, yep, those exact words, might feel overburdening, but he urges me to pause for a bit and give it a thought. Get the fuck out of here. And the guy writing this says, here this dude has overstayed his welcome. I was kind of getting itchy to reset my Wi-Fi router at that point. And also he said, I will always be welcome to his place. If I have any concerns, I can speak to him. I was like, yeah, sure. You can't make this shit up. She actually called this guy. Do you really think that that's the way to get this guy writing the story back? To call the guy in a voice call or video call and convince him? Good Lord. But can't make this shit up. He says, now this dude was quite charismatic. I have to give it to him. He had that deep DJ voice and his speech was quite paced. But the whole thing was very manipulative. It wasn't a direct pressure, but a subtle suggestion that I somehow less developed than he is. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where, but he framed himself like a superior being who is sharing the enlightenment with us, and I should be happy for that. The way he describes him sounds like some of those cult leaders. You know, they can just rope people in. They find people that are young or feel alone and easily manipulate them and twist their words. And of course, well, a lot of these cult leaders claim like, you know, they're the second coming or something like that. And these dumb assholes buy into it. According to him, I also should be happy because he and his family prepared a wonderful girl for me. Prepared. There was more of this nonsense and pseudoscience. He also said I am a researcher and I should be able to find myself a study that proves the validity of alternative lifestyles. Just before the end of the phone call, I asked for references, opened Google Scholar, and asked for exact study, but he could not give them. He said he had some writings that he would help me, but he needs to bring them the next time because they are not online. And this guy says there will not be next time. Of course, this guy has an answer for everything. I was polite the whole time. I wouldn't have been. But it was obvious that this talk didn't go well with me, and I was not impressed with all that mumbo-jumbo. Actually, I don't know what got into the girl to introduce her ex to me. I guess it was a last resort move to convince me and to give her a chance. However, it backfired badly. Suddenly, I could connect a real person to those orgies. There, I said it. Let's see if YouTube flags this. And it got the better of me. I.e., I started to have images of her being effed by that old man and his friends. The whole thing was just disgusting. How could she be attracted to this old creep? Who knows? Probably daddy issues. Who the hell knows why some of these gals go for the guys they do? But she thought this was going to help the situation. I got wonder if this guy's being punked. Like she's recording him talking to this old guy here. After the dude disconnected, there was uncomfortable silence. I was the first to break it with something like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is the creep you were with for 3 years?" I guess a lot of people will call me judgmental, but those were exactly my thoughts. She responded as she was a naive girl looking for a relationship and how she's mature and she sees what it wasn't a fulfilling life, but now she loves me, wants family and kids, yada yada yada. Well, you're going to have with somebody else because I'm not doing that. Because now, before he could use his wildest imaginations of what her past was like, because of course he would, but now he actually saw the guy and saw this guy as a fucking lowlife. There's no coming back. I don't buy this BS from the conversation they had on the phone that she does remember us having fun. People just don't do 180 U-turns. I asked, "Did you notice how manipulative he is? He was using you for sex." And her reply shocked me. She said, "He's a good man. He's very smart and you should listen to him." I quit here. I will never understand modern women. Again, this guy had garbage behind him and open bottles of alcohol. Looked like he hadn't taken a shower in 2 months. But that guy had her wrapped around his little finger. That's usually how it works. Meanwhile, a guy here who has his shit together, good job, good money, side business resources, take care of himself, I guarantee wouldn't come close to that other guy. Calling this old dude mature is beyond me. Maybe I am a thick skull engineer without higher functioning emotions, but I see the smoke and mirrors miles away. I also feel like I achieved much more than him. I have a house, a car, good academic degree, career, side business, and I'm fit. Why should I listen to a self-proclaimed guru who does not have its own life together? Exactly. Now, some people might see this guy as kind of arrogant. In my opinion, he's just a guy who essentially knows he's worked hard to achieve what he's achieved. He's 34. He's in really where a guy's prime begins. So he has a right to say, "Hey, I worked hard to get my shit together. I'm not going to take advice from this fucking lowlife, and I'm a catch, essentially." I came from non-Western culture when we are drilled to respect our elders, but fuck me, I'm not respecting this old creep in a million years. There are reasons why I have Stephen Hawking books on my shelf. I also had enough hearing that I'm closed-minded. I have my own beliefs, and no creep will push his free love BS down my throat, especially from a dude who cannot have its life together and has no ambition whatsoever. Correct. Now, he said he grew up in a non-Western culture, so, it's anybody's guess where he's from. But if that's the case, what the hell is he trying to do with American women? That's what I'm thinking. There was not much to say afterwards. At that moment, I just knew there was zero chance of us moving on together. She started crying, of course, the last resort, and asked me if we can stay friends. Hell no, you can't go from being a couple to being friends. It doesn't work that way. She just hopes she can just rope him in. I responded, "We share intimacy, and I don't think it'll be fair for both of us. I'm sorry, I just can't stay in contact with exes. I want a clear cut from any remaining emotions because I want to be 100% for my future wife, and I don't need any lingering stuff in my head." This guy is he was obviously fired up from the whole experience, but he can switch that off and think logically. I'm not here for drama. I suggested cutting his poly dude out of her life completely because I see this BS that he preaches staying in her head. But I think it went nowhere. He cannot have a future with her after her for 3 years being with a guy like this, getting plied by multiple dudes. There's a thing called pair bonding, and that ain't gonna happen after experience like that. The sad truth is, I just lost all respect for her. I never said that out loud because I didn't want her to feel bad. If she believes in that free love crap, it's up to her. But I don't. In my book, having a family is primarily a role responsibility than benefits. Right now, I feel overburdened with the past she brings up, and I don't feel that our values are aligned at all. Correct. You can have differences, but you got to have some core values or the relationship's never going to fucking work. Call me an a-hole, but spending your best years on some old hippie and his poly friends and then looking for a conservative old school man for marriage, that's what she said. I just call it pure hypocrisy. Those experiences shape what you are, just like me, and the previous cheating ex and my engineering career shaped me. I cannot imagine any self-respecting man being okay with her experimenting phase. I worked on being the best possible man while she was having those fuck fests. Right. While he was building in school, studying and building up his career and all that in his 20s, she was off doing what she was doing. So they don't align. She wanted both sides of the coin, enjoy that crazy promiscuity lifestyle, and also enjoy the benefits of family life and a loving husband. I do have an ego and my pride as a man. I want to be the best for my future wife, and this is especially valid in our sexuality, because it's important to me. I don't believe she would cheat, but I have no chance of replicating those experiences she had and would always feel inferior. She would cheat. Guaranteed. There's no connection after going through all that for 3 years. I do feel jealous and disgusted at the same time, and that's not a healthy state to start a serious relationship. And I'm not willing to have those drills in my head for the sake of love and being mature. Cut all ties. Move on. In my opinion, her ex is a manipulative, smooth-talking creep, and she let herself be used by him over and over again for 3 years, and all his friends. She either liked being used or she is easy to manipulate, i.e. stupid. Both options disqualify her from any serious relationship in my book. Plus, there's a risk that there will be another smooth talker who will brainwash her later in life. Yes, exactly. I talk all the time about how women are easily manipulated by their friends, but also by guys who know how to push their buttons. I mean, how many times have you heard stories about guys in prison that manipulate the female guards into doing all sorts of things for them, and sometimes busting them out, and you get the point. They know the buttons to push. They're smooth talking. Of course, they're the bad boy criminal behind bars. And someone like this could easily, down the road, if she gets bored with him, be swayed by another smooth talker. And the whole, after 3 years getting plowed by multiple dudes at the same time, the poly lifestyle of the old hippie, it's only a matter of time before she won't be able to connect, really, with a guy. I want my kids to grow up in a healthy 2-parent family household with any creepy brainwashing. She changed, whether she changed or not. I just don't care. I lost all respect for her, and I cannot see her anymore as a life partner. Had we continued, I would have had those drills in my head, and I don't see a reason why I should deal with all the stress and lack of comfort for someone. Nope, I'm not doing that for anyone. Good for him. He's doing what all guys should do. It's not working out. Kick him to the curb. No apologies, nothing. And he knows that he's better than her. He's built himself up to be, more successful, have more going on. Why should he settle? So here you go. Some people will respond that I'm being insecure a-hole with double standards, like in that last post. Well, that's your opinion. Before the cheating ex, who was promiscuous, I was more sex liberal, and I didn't pay much attention to women's past. Now, I do think that the past matters a heck of a lot. Yes, it does. Especially for women, because it's so easy for them to cheat. And I consider former promiscuity as an unattractive trait and a huge risk for stability of a relationship. Yes, I was saying this since day one. Maybe she changed and I'm the one wrong here. No, you're not. But I'm not willing to risk another heartbreak. I am back to the dating pool. Now he does a lot of little edits or updates here, and I'll finish that up before I wrap this up. He says, edit number 1. There's a lot of hate, as expected, with insults. Effing gross and pathetic, arrogant prick, self-esteem and or trust issues, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I've done anything wrong here, and I will reply later. By the way, I don't identify myself as MGTOW. Number 2. A few responders mentioned the ex was young and brainwashed. I really don't know about this brainwashing thing. It seems to me she enjoyed the whole poly lifestyle. So it sounds like to me, and notice she was in contact with that guy. And she is a cheater because remember in the first story, she was talking to him and he could hear the conversation. So she stayed in touch with him. You're committed a relationship, you shouldn't be talking to the ex. So she did enjoy that lifestyle. She only left so she could find a husband because it wasn't going to happen with that guy. And she still stayed in touch with him. She would have been with him, gotten together with him, and probably would go cheat on him. We would cheat with the 50-year-old guy and his friends. That's probably what happened here. So this guy was right. She had 3 years to pull out of this poly creep land. Anyhow, it's either A, she enjoyed the poly life, or B, she's too easy to manipulate and stupid. Both options disqualify her from a serious relationship in my book. I learned a lot from the previous cheating. I read that part. Next thing he says, in the previous post, I wrote I was hoping to stay friends after the breakup. But after this conversation, I just don't see it possible. I don't want this poly creep land anywhere next to me. No, you cannot be friends. Cut her off. Move on. You'll only been dating in a exclusive relationship 2 months. That's nothing. Move on. You'll get over her in a week. Number 4. I received a few angry private messages when I'm just going to block. You might disagree with my point of view, but please keep it civil. By the way, I never understood why dumping a girl is such a terrible thing to do. I was rejected many times in my life, and somehow I'm still alive. She was a clear cut from this relationship, and she's free to do whatever she wants. He actually had people private messaging him, yelling at him, insulting him. Get a life. And also, he's apparently the bad guy because he broke up with her. Number 5. A few respondents suggest I should prepare a list of my deal breaker questions. Example, have you participated in orgies in the last 5 years? Have you participated in alternative lifestyle? And present it before dating. He says, are you people nuts? I asked her for her past relationships, and she answered 3 to 4 long-term boyfriends. It was as far from the truth as possible. Now, I just don't want to address the lying here, or lying by omission at least, because I was 99% sure this relationship ended. Because I was, actually, if you read the previous post, she acknowledged that she lied. And he's quoting her. He's quoting the previous post as saying, I asked why she lied to me when I asked about her past relationship, and she replied she panicked because she thought I wouldn't date her. So she knew. He says, I'm sorry, but she's ashamed of her past. She's ashamed of her past or think that it would impact her future relationships. She should not follow this lifestyle previously. Now she has to work with what she has, and let's be fair, if I were not working on my career, fitness, and fashion style, among many other things, I would not be able to date attractive girls. So he knows he has to take care of himself to get girls. Number 6. Also, some people suggested therapy, but I still don't get a good reason why I should change my view. He doesn't need therapy. He was cheated on. He learned the hard way, and he's not tolerating this type of shit in his life. There's no need for therapy. But of course, the narrative is, and the masses will tell a guy that he should be open and understanding and accepting all that bullshit. Because believe me, the same narrative in society tells gals that she can pick and choose who she wants, and she can have standards and all that. But if a guy has standards right here, or picks and chooses, he's the root of all evil. And also my friends, who are way more experienced than me, rather suggest to the fact that the formerly promiscuous female is a bad choice for a serious relationship. 7. It seems to me that many responders here have an agenda of putting down anyone who says that promiscuity is bad. I understand that many women had this experimental phase. It naturally repels many men, me included, but they cannot undo, and it seriously affects their attractiveness from a monogamous relationship. Therefore, they keep pushing a notion. There is nothing bad with promiscuity, while in fact there is a strong evidence against it. This is the best summary I found. And this something he looked up, said we have this wonderful brain that learns from repetition, also called practice. If you practice a lot of SCX with changing partners, you become proficient and routine at this. This, however, excludes the opportunity to practice relationships, investing in someone, not running after the quick pleasure. He says, damn, I was expecting another hate rush after that last post. But I still cannot believe that people here are trying to shame me for not wanting to stay with this poly girl. Especially that she just doesn't seem to completely break with that lifestyle. Those are just creepy and awful people. So that is that for that story. And again, I've done these stories before. Guy finds out about her past, finds out that she chose him because he was the nice guy, whether she admitted it or not. Kicked her to the curb, she had a meltdown, rinse, recycle, repeat to the next turn. But I've never heard one where a gal actually got one of her guys from her past to actually try to convince this guy. And good Lord, twice her age for 3 years, getting plied by him and his other low-life friends. And the way he described him is really skinny and the long hair, the white skin, garbage everywhere, fast food wrappers here and there behind them, open bottles of alcohol. Just a fucking lowlife, but he was able to manipulate her and all that and try this for her to get him back. You gotta be kidding me. But more and more guys, thank the Lord, are realizing, hey, you know what? I don't have to accept this. I'm not gonna do this. Is not who I'm gonna be in a relationship with. And this is more and more come back to bite these gals in the butts. So if you're a parent watching this, a mom or a dad, because I got someone watch me, you definitely ought to advise your children or younger brothers and sisters, whoever is younger, really think about your future. Now, I know trying to tell it to a teenager or a college kid, it's like one ear out the other, because of course they know everything. But at least say your piece, because what you do will come back to haunt you down the road, especially nowadays. We are, as I say, Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, so none of this shit surprises me. But guys, for you relationship guys, you find things about your girl that you don't like about her past, you have every right to end the relationship, because guaranteed, if there were things about your past or things about you that she doesn't like, she'll break up with you. The only difference is that nobody will give her a hard time about it, but everyone will come after you. And you have to be able to handle it and be your own man and be strong and all that. So I wish this guy the best. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. And like I said before, guys, you come across a really good story you'd like to share, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I definitely will. I got a lot of stories, but just keep them coming. The more you send me, the more I can do and get out as many videos as often as I can. You know, I love to be able to do 3 videos between the 2 main channels and a few clips every day. And the more you send me, the easier it is for me just to boom, 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 get them done, put them on YouTube, and off we go. And you guys get hours of entertainment. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.